Hello, my name is Shane Kehoe. I am one of the co-founders of SVK Crypto, London. We are here at Token 2049 in Hong Kong, and I have the pleasure of being joined with Hybridblock's Carson Knuth.
Perfect.
I got that right?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I'm really excited to have reached out to Hybridblock because it's been actually on our radar for some time now. Jonathan, their CEO, was very kindly to get on a Skype call with me a couple of months ago. Their project themselves really has interest because it solves a lot of the institutional problems that we find in deploying capital into this space. But I'm super excited to hear from Carson all about their story, their journey, where they're currently at on their ICO, and also what their plans are for the future. So maybe we'll have a brief introduction of yourself and let's talk about the project.
Cool.
Yeah, so Carson Knuth, I've been here in the crypto space, I think, since 2012, beginning 2013, so it's been a few years now. I had a startup that I started in crypto. It was like gambling and Bitcoin way back in the day.
Sounds fun.
It's classic. I'm from Vegas, so I use what I know, right?
Right.
And so I sold that in 2017 to a company called Unicorn.
Okay.
And then, I met Rod and Apollo and some of the other people involved with Hybridblock, and they really sort of pitched me on the vision of what they were trying to accomplish, sort of bringing crypto to the masses, focused in Asia especially. They're not interested in the first 100 million customers, they're interested in the next 2 billion.
Which is a perfect time given where we are. And
Absolutely.
2007 was a real inflection.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect time, and so I, dedicated myself to this new project, and here it is. So, yeah. Do you want an overview on the project, or?
Yeah, and your role within?
So I handle operations side of things. So customer development, working with exchange relationships, business relationships. I'm sort of on that side of things, and as we continue to scale up, those roles will become much more defined. So I think I'll be handling more on the exchange side of things, managing the operations there. So I sort of do a bit of jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife role, but we're scaling up quickly. I think we have like 25 or 30 employees right now, and we'll probably be double that in 2 months.
It's amazing. But maybe you'll give the people that don't know much about your project a real kind of top-down view, because you're looking to solve several very important issues and problems that are somewhat related, but also somewhat quite different.
Cool, yeah. So, like I said, I've been in crypto for like a long time, like 2012, and what you've seen is exponential growth, and exponential growth is followed by market correction every single time, and now is a perfect example. So what we've learned is that people that actually understand what they're getting into, like blockchain, they understand what Bitcoin is, and they don't just buy the hype, they don't leave the market. So the people that buy the hype, what happens is they're like, oh, when the market corrects, they're like, this is a scam, this is a Ponzi scheme, and they're like, you've lost that customer or that potential market participant forever, in most cases. And so we're very passionate about making sure that there's a base knowledge about education. So we have an education platform called Hybrid Central, in which we provide content based around education, from as simple as like, what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, what is a smart contract, all the way to how to build a miner, like technical chart analysis, things of that nature. So we go from very early stages all the way to advanced. So people,
that content all freely available for everyone to log on?
Absolutely. We really think that the education, like being able to provide that for free to people, is something that I think adds value to the community, one, and then two, adds value to our other products that we offer. Right. So once people are familiar and have an educational understanding of what they're getting into, we have a product called Base Trade. Base Trade's like sort of a Coinbase of Asia model, and mostly it's a very consumer, retail-focused product in which people are able to say, I want to buy $500 of Bitcoin, add it to your cart, $200 of Ethereum, add it to your cart, $100 of Ripple, add it to your cart.
Is that currently operational?
So that'll be operational in May. Okay. So we've been in development of that for about 8 or 9 months, and that will launch at the same time our exchange launches. Right. So that's our pretty basic focused consumer. It's like where you'd send your parents or your grandparents to go buy crypto, or your friends. You're like, in the US you say, oh, go to Coinbase, because it's the easiest thing.
My mother's a hustler. You definitely don't want her on your platform. You're going to have to watch her trading.
Well, I will look out for that case.
And how are you dealing with the whole KYC and AML on that? Because it's such a hot topic.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a third-party provider we work with called Identity Mine. Super great guys, really strong team. They've worked in the industry for a very long time, and so they have direct API into our exchange. So how our sign-up process works is it's basically one sign-up and you're signed up for all of our products.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it keeps it cross-platform, so you don't have to have individual accounts in all of the different products we provide. And they do KYC for everything that we're doing.
And are you guys scaled up to deal with, as a lot of the exchanges I think really struggled with last year when they had a real upturn in people applying to open accounts? They couldn't actually deal with the amount of applications, and I think a lot of these exchanges were unable to offer good customer service. They were able to take your money and onboard you, but if you had a problem, you took a ticket and you waited weeks for them to come back.
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing up some really, things that we pinpointed as being pain points in the industry, and like one of the things that we're really interested in is making sure those don't happen. So we've scaled our product to basically be huge, being able to take on huge customer loads in the very beginning. So we have partnerships for liquidity, our KYC, AML, all of those things are able to be scaled up at an exponential rate. So we have a compliance team that works in-house. We have an external compliance team that double checks things, or if we have external questions, they're able to provide feedback with us. We have 2 sets of attorneys, another tax and structure, and they all provide insight in that. And then also for the customer service that you brought up, right now we're finishing building out a 50-seat call center in Manila. Right. So we'll have customer support 24 hours a day in English and Chinese, and then we're going to be scaling out in other languages like Thai, Vietnamese, I think, and Korean and Japanese as well.
Right, because
so
obviously your focus is quite Asia.
Right, yeah, we're completely Asia focused, and Europe is an additional market, but everyone, most people there can speak English, so it's not as much of a focus, whereas Asia is so regionalized in what the languages they speak for the most part. So anyway, we have 24-hour support. We want to be able to answer those questions very quickly, and I think that eliminates the problem with filling out a ticket and then getting back to you a week later. We want to resolve those concerns immediately. And then it helps people feel comfortable leaving their money or keeping, trading on your exchange.
Now, you're also looking to solve some very key problems with regards to a stablecoin. I'm interested to know a little bit more about that, and also you were looking at a wallet, and then you were looking at almost like a institutional type platform. So how and when do you start to implement them onto your timeline going ahead? What's the roadmap look like?
Yeah, so basically our roadmap in simple form is we're launching our base trade and exchange products in end of April, beginning of May, just depending on some of the testing comes back and how much patching needs to be done before the final live version. And then what we look to launch is the stablecoin sometime around 3 to 4 months after that. And the reason why we're so interested in a stablecoin is because now it allows us to provide a stable position for consumers to onboard into crypto very easily. So instead of acquiring a banking license in which we hold their money and control their money, now we can issue them the stable-coin to essentially act as a store of value that they don't have to worry about the fluctuation of value. Right. There's also a lot of benefits that come with stablecoin in remittance market. Yeah. There's so many opportunities that come along with that, and it creates a very, easy pathway into more, hard crypto, if you will. Because stablecoin, you're using all the benefits of cryptocurrency, and then you don't have any of the downside of fluctuation in the market.
I think for us it's very important. I don't necessarily want to be going short any type of cryptos a lot of the time. I can't get a short. I've got no way to hedge out against any volatility. I believe in the long-term growth of the cryptocurrency market, so I don't want to sell out and go to fiat, but I'm always looking for safe havens, and up until now there's been very few options. Obviously there's a Tether, which full disclosure we don't hold, we never have. There's some other really great ones in the process which are just stable coins, like Alchemist, which is going to be on the Neo blockchain.
Right, yeah.
And there's also going to be Haven, which is the Australian offering, which is also very interesting. But I like the way you guys are incorporating it into your product mix, because if you're an institutional client, then it's a lot easier for you also just to have your stablecoin. So I think we're going to see more of that.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense. You know, it's an easy way for people to get involved, and it also provides, like you said, a safe haven for people that do need it. You know, that they want to avoid some of the risk that comes along with, you know, inherent risk in the crypto market currently.
So what's been your takeaway from the ICO? Where are you currently at now? Has it been worth it? We still, you know, got some more time on it. It's constantly changing as well with the underlying market and the overall regulatory space. And I just wanted to kind of get your kind of key takeaway on the craziness of it all and what's it been like for you.
Well, in short, it's been great. You know, we raised about $40 million US in our pre-sale, so it was a big success. We have 50 million hard cap, so we'll hopefully do the remainder of it in the open sale. It's a high cap, but you know, as I've sort of outlined, we have a large scope of what we're working on, and a lot of the money will actually go towards providing liquidity for our exchange, and you know, at an institutional level, you know, getting some fixed APIs that some other exchanges don't offer currently. Working with that. But has it been worth it? Short answer, absolutely. I mean, where else are you going to go to be able to find an immediate community and be able to get people engaged in the long-term success of your product without having to go to traditional venture capitalists and ask for money and laying out the project? Now you have to worry about your community and making sure that you live up to your what you promised, you know, what you outlined in your white paper. And so I think absolutely it's been worth it.
Had you ever had discussions about maybe just doing a private sale and not going out into the public, as we've seen that trend in recent times?
That was initially like some of the conversations we were having, and we initially planned not to do a public sale.
Right.
But as you know, the community sort of started to develop, and we worked with some of our attorneys, they felt a lot more comfortable in saying, okay, you have the KYC piece figured out, you're excluding a lot more countries than some ICOs exclude. And they're like, we feel comfortable allowing you to do this. So that's sort of the path we're going down.
I think it's key for you, whereby your project is based around the community, and that community will be your underlying client. So I think it's important to have that, and I think there's been some ICO projects that have shelved that and then they've done an airdrop, and I don't think that that's really resonated with their community. So I think fair play for you guys for working through it, especially with what you're in. So I think that's worked pretty well.
Oh, thanks.
Where can our SVK Crypto crowd find you guys? So your website, your Telegram, your Twitter, and any other numbers and...
So you can find us, our website's hybridblock.io, and our Telegram group is Hybridblock HQ. And those are the two main active channels that we use. We have a subreddit, just Hybridblock. But those are the main ones that we are communicative on, and our Telegram channel's growing. We have like 12 or 13,000 members, and every day we're getting a few more, so yeah. Great.
Well, listen, I wish you all the very best with your project. I think it's going to be amazing for the space. I think your timing is working out really well, and I just want you to thank you very much, Carson, for coming on the show, keeping it crypto, and wish you all the best. So over and out.